Yo, knowing Puff, man, he's emotionalist, man. He's emotionalist, man. And one of the things that stick in my mind that I never paid attention to, that I pay attention to, is he said, I don't know how to be a friend.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like he said, I don't know how to be a friend. He said, you know how you and your man Paulie got the homies uptown, and you know y'all go back on check. Like we used to take boxes of Sean John back to the block to make sure niggas was right. You know what I'm saying? Yo, here, B. Open up my trunk. Dudes will run up on me. Yo, Barnes, got you. You know what I'm saying? Puff was like, yo, only thing I care about is my bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to be a friend. So, you know, that's one of the things that stick in my mind. So part of me gets mad, but then the other part of me says, he already told you who he was.
Right.
You just didn't want to believe it, or you just ain't want to see it, or you just believing in your belief 10 toes down that the next person is going to be 10 toes down. But that person told you already they wasn't going to be. And God bless the dead. You might have heard of Wolf, right? Wolf was his main security, ahead of his security. Wolf had told me one day in Atlanta, he said, Barnes, be careful. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, be careful what? He said, be careful, old boy, yo. You know what I'm saying? He don't care about nobody. And to tell you the truth, you feel like, yeah, okay, but that's not going to happen to me. Like, you don't believe.
Scandals, they're everywhere. They're in the air, and who put them there? Scandals, you kiss and run to have your fun with another one. Don't say it isn't so. A gal like me ought to know. Taking your love on the easy plan, here and there and where you can. Oh, you nasty man, you're not fooling me. I got you figured from A to Z, but you're down good company. Oh, you big bad man, you sweet nasty, I know what's on your mind. You full of fasty, make me sizzle, and then you.
Once again, it's the infamous back in the house once again. Live the life that like the bass said, pull on stems. The wall got the bomb, run out and tell the friend, drop the gem on. Back in the house once again. Live the life that the diamonds and guns and now gems. Pull that like the bass said, pull on stems. The wall got the bomb, run out and tell the friend, drop a gem on him.
You've been a bad boy, TD. You've been a bad boy.
Ugly fake folks need to retire. They got your gas. Take a match and smack fire out your maggot ass. Have it represent for the QBC.
It's bad when I start digging. Let me tell you that much.
Fuck it, I love it like a cloud over the projection game. I'm above it. It's combat. Gas bangers and all that. You just small cap, whatever you want, get off that. I'm itching. Nothing but the real shit.
It's bad when I start finding things, bro.
Strive full, you half stepping like a fresh step out of the box.
Let's just say the church don't like things right now.
Bitch ass have you confessing like a DT. Left in state of depression. You under pressure. Intact, no doubt catcher. The snitch snatcher. Shookin' with asthma. You Casper, you yell my name. That's only giving me props. Plus the fans that you got. Wondering what's got you hot. It's too not. Knocked out the box and got rocked. Got break on the island, you officially got. Kick that dog shit, Rob magazine or some love shit. Keep it real, kid, cause you don't know who you fucking with. Back in the house once again. Live the life that of diamonds and guns and now gems. Pull gas, like a bass said, pull on stems. The wall got the bomb, run out and tell the friend, drop the gem on. Back in the house once again. Live the life that of diamonds and guns and now gems. Pull gas, like a bass said, pull on stems. The wall got the bomb, run out.
Yeah. What it do, y'all? What it do? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Welcome all. I'm your host with the most, Chill motherfucking Murray, live from the Spot Podcast. We back. Episode 37. Um, how's everybody out there? Hope everybody's enjoying their holiday weeks. If they're on vacation, shout out to those that are on vacation or off vacation. Shout out to those that are still going to work. Shout out to those that are not. Shout out to those that are out of school. Shout out to those that are in school. You already know how we rock. Um, it's always a slow news week. It's always a slow news week for the holidays. But we still have our job here to do. And I've been just hearing things periodically about different things and different rumors and whatnot. And you gotta say to yourself, okay, what's real and what's not? What's real and what's not? Because you have the things out there that was just being distraction, then you had things out there that wasn't being distraction. And then I'm saying to myself, okay, what's the real reason that I'm seeing the Blueface thing and Soldier Boy at the same time I'm seeing the TD Jakes thing? At the same week I'm seeing the Kanye rant thing. I'm like, all right. They always say they put a distraction behind what they don't want you to think about, right? So I started thinking about myself, like, wait, why the TD Jakes thing is out, but it's not out? And then I saw Christian Keys. I saw Christian Keys talk about his little Cry Wolf lawsuit that he doing with Tyler Perry. Everybody know he's talking about Tyler Perry. I don't know why he's trying to subliminally say that he has a quote-unquote producer or Hollywood executive. Well, I don't know why you're trying to be secretive about it. You've been in nothing but Tyler Perry movies. Like, the jig is up with that one. Like, nigga, we can just Google who Christian Keys is and see you've been in nothing but Tyler Perry movies. So you were talking about, obviously, Tyler Perry. So, you're basically having allegations and accusations out now that Tyler Perry has touched you or asked to see your booty naked for $100,000. First of all, $100,000. He could have gave that shit to an up and coming Jonathan Majors when he was coming in. Let's be real about it. $100,000, a billionaire like Tyler Perry, $100,000. He could have spent that at the strip club. Why would he want to spend $100,000 to see your naked ass for a film? I don't know. But you say to yourself, okay, are these things far-fetched now? Nowadays, are these things even far-fetched? Because they don't seem to be. They don't seem to be. Few far in between. At all. As you saw the gentleman on the cover. We gonna get into that later. I don't want to say get into him. There's a lot of people getting into him. Pause. And the crazy thing is, who he's linked to is starting to sound like a damn demon background octopus. You know that? Matter of fact, no. You know that thing that was in Stranger Things? Isn't that something? If y'all think about the tentacle monster that was in Stranger Things, isn't Diddy starting to look like that? Isn't Diddy starting to look like that with all the things he's linked to? Interesting, right? He is starting to look like that thing. Well, he's just attached to so many things. So much death. So many gay accusations. So many rape accusations. So many sexual assault cases. So many things. You just attached to your name is just attached to nothing but darkness. Yo, closet is, but at this point, remember how I talked about the analogy of the huge pinata, and Cassie poked a hole in it? Remember that? Remember I said Cassie poked a hole in a huge pinata, and it's been doing nothing but leaking ever since, ain't it? And it's still leaking out this bitch. We done leaked it to Nipsey Hussle. It's done leaked out Takeoff. Now it's done leaked out Mr. TD Jakes. That's right. We don't get into, like I said, the TD Jakes thing. But I was gonna actually start. I was gonna talk about the Blueface Soldier Boy thing, but I'm like, yeah, Academics got that one covered. Academics got that one covered. Because, in my opinion, I think that's a distraction from a bigger conversation we need to be having, don't we? What I mean by that is, it seems to be. So, I don't know if any of y'all ever seen the movie Angels and Demons, right? We gonna get into that. I'm gonna do a special on that, live from the spot podcast special on not just Angels and Demons, but something that might get me in a little bit of trouble, and we're gonna touch on it a little bit today. So, in the movie Angels and Demons, it talks about the falsification of Christianity and some of the documents that were falsified in Christianity. I won't do a spoiler alert on that one. But if you do, um, if you do get bored one day, take it upon yourself to watch Angels and Demons with a thorough eye. Okay, I'm just gonna say it like that, with a thorough third eye, and say to yourself, and do not say to yourself, "Oh, this is just a movie." I want you to take heed when I say that. When you watch Angels and Demons, say to yourself, "This may not just be a movie." With any of it, okay? Especially with a lot of the things that are coming to light in the 2024. We are in the age of enlightenment, y'all. And the things that are coming to light, as Pac said, rest in peace, there's going to be some stuff in the future that's going to make it hard to smile in the future. And a lot of that is coming to fruition. First thing I want to get into is this Kanye West rant that happened last week. It seems to me that Kanye has gotten to the point now where he really, and I mean really, don't give a fuck no more. And I, for one, am glad he doesn't. I, for one, am glad that he doesn't care anymore. You know why I'm glad Kanye doesn't care anymore? Because Kanye is one of those people that, unfortunately, had his mother sacrificed and regretted it the minute he had it done. And has, fortunately but unfortunately, been behind the scenes and seen some very wicked things. I might actually do a special on Kanye around the same time after I do some the Ghost of Bad Boy, which Mace, I know I keep saying it, but the Mace one's coming out Friday. I'm just gonna say it now. The Mace one's coming out this week. We're gonna start with Mace, the Ghost of Bad Boys and Mace. But anyway, speaking of which, with Mace, Kanye West. Y'all get that transition later. Kanye West has seen and heard a lot of things. I remember when Runaway first came out, I said, "Oh yeah, he didn't hit that breaking point." I remember when a toast for the assholes, let's have a toast for the scumbags. Let's have a toast. I said, "Yeah, he hit that breaking point. He having a breakdown right in front of y'all. It's about to happen." And where he titled the album, "My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy." I said, why would he say that? He's trying to say right then and there, I got behind the scenes, y'all, and this shit is dark. It ain't all the bright lights I thought it was gonna be. I'm just giving y'all the subliminal hints from that damn album. It wasn't all the glitz and glamour I thought it was gonna be. The love of my life that I thought was gonna be the love of my life, they actually just put here for me. They just gave me this bitch. She was even a distraction. We won't go and get into that. The woman y'all gave me was a distraction from y'all killing my mom off and me sacrificing my mom. I sold my soul to the devil. I know it was a crappy deal. At least it came with a few toys and a Happy Meal. You heard him. Came right out live, took the microphone from Pusha and said that, didn't he? Man sold his soul to the devil and knew it. So, Kanye has been trying to get his soul back.
I think I pretty much wrapped up.
Still talking.
Everything I want to say.
Who are you?
I'm just saying they.
Yeah, take out. Yeah, come on, yeah. Sorry, come on. Ready?
I'm just saying. I'm
just saying. Come on.
They can make him sound crazy because he's black.
Nick, what you care about crazy?
No,
And by the way, we're not black. How about that? We're not black, nigga. We're Indian.
Yeah.
We're Native American.
Yeah.
How many of y'all grandmothers got Indian in your family?
I'm Indian.
Wait a second, but what happened to the Indians? We black. Show me black on the planet. Why you stop recording?
He knows the fucking shit.
Why you sound crazy? Nah, because you think I sound crazy.
No, you don't sound crazy. You sound fucking legit. You're talking truth. You're talking truth.
We not black. Race was made up.
You're talking truth.
Race was made up.
Yeah, with the brown eyes.
Show me black. Show me black on the planet.
It was here first.
Show me black. Everybody else, they European. They Australian. They Chinese. They Japanese. Show me black on the planet. We marginalized as entertainers. I already seen the other side, nigga. I seen the factories. I went up head to head with these niggas, man. And I'm still alive. And I'm live for this moment to say this to y'all. As far as the Nicki Minaj shit, I don't care. Love for her husband, I met her, blah, 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 all this shit. I don't care. I made that girl rewrite her verse 3 times for Monster. I supported her career. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know what it is that Jewish people got in their head.
That hit me hard right there when he said that. So, real quick, I want to backtrack 2 things. Number 1, we are not black, we are just Indian. He's actually sort of right there if you actually look it up. We actually derived from what they call Anunnaki and the Nephilim. I won't break that down necessarily. If you want to look those 2 up, you can as well. But we actually derived from a different tribe. We didn't necessarily derive from color. So the whole thing with colorism is what Kanye is actually speaking about with the we are not black. We are actually Indian. We are an actual race. And yes, we came from Native American and Indians. We came from that tribe, necessarily. African Americans and Indians are basically the same people, whether people want to know that or not.
You know what I'm saying? But we gonna get this fucking, or we just ain't gonna put shit out. What the fuck? Nah, Ty, I know you gonna put some shit out.
And furthermore, it baffled me. Well, not baffled me, but it kind of surprised me. But caught me off guard just knowing that, okay, he made Nicki rewrite that verse several times. Don't you know that is still today Nicki's greatest rap verse ever? That is Nicki Minaj's greatest rap verse ever. And he made her write that verse several times to get that rah.
You know what I'm saying? The level, you can say they cut out, they stopped famous ass rappers from going in. Motherfuckers didn't get permits tonight. Nicki Minaj didn't clear her verse. That's why I say ain't nobody with me. Because y'all just see that shit. Y'all see me not see my kids. Y'all see Nicki Minaj not clear the verse. Y'all see Adidas drop billions of dollars and shit. And no one says.
What he's trying to say right now is he's basically displaying how much he's been blackballed. You're basically hearing how many times and how many different ways he's being blackballed, but he's speaking out loud about it. That's the reason why Kanye won't shut up. Because the moment he gets quiet is going to be the worst moment in history. The moment Kanye gets quiet is when we all should be worrying.
Nothing. No one is outraged. No one is with. If you want to be, okay. Whatever. It's cool. I'll be fine for that. When a motherfucker even tell me they love me, it made me feel funny because I feel so much fucking hate, bro. When that motherfucker tell me y'all respect me, I feel fucking funny because I feel so much rape, bro. I feel so much fucking rape, nigga. When the last time you see me around a nigga that went on salary, nigga? I don't know what a friend is, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? This really some years of Britney Spears shit, nigga.
What he's getting at now is the fact that he has been on the run. Kanye has, yes, he has been Britney Spears, so to speak, meaning he has been silenced. That is why, once again, he has to keep speaking out loud publicly. If he doesn't do it this way, the powers that be will completely shut him down. So he has to keep doing different ways and forms of speaking out publicly, forming different raves, forming different events. He's trying his damnedest, basically, to not fade away. And the powers that be have been doing nothing but trying to make him fade away. But Kanye, of course, is just he's that influential of a person that I don't think he necessarily can go away.
The same paparazzi that I slammed at the airport when they gave me my first piece of medication was the exact same paparazzi that photographed Britney. TMZ, 30-mile zone. That is what Hollywood is. Once you go in there, them niggas is around you. They gonna surround you. They in charge of that shit. They in charge of your fucking narrative. They in charge of your bank account. They in charge of your cars. They in charge of your record labels. They in charge of your football contracts. They in charge of your houses. Talk about it. And I'm saying, niggas be coming to me really like, working me talking about something. When I'm gonna apologize? When they gonna apologize to me? When they gonna apologize to us?
Yeah. Facts.
Aborting us, locking us up, putting drugs in front of us, locking up all our leaders and calling them gang leaders. Who else is gonna put the community together? And anybody that could put the community together, they put them under the jail. And when I talked to Trump, he ain't never get Trump. Trump could have freed Larry, bro.
Fuck Trump.
You know what I'm saying? So Trump, look, you want our support? You have to promise, nigga, in writing on your life, you gonna free Larry, bro.
Which at this point, that was another thing that I don't know if Kanye has realized since he's left the state. Trump doesn't have as much power as he might think, or when he once left the states. Yeah, we can get support from Trump, but Trump doesn't necessarily have the power that he once had when he freed, say, a Kodak Black, or pardoned a Lil Wayne, or pardoned a Meek Mill. He doesn't have that same exact support that Kanye thinks he has anymore. So I was a little bit baffled why he even went into the "if you want our support" Trump thing. Trump can't help Larry Hoover right now. There isn't very many people that can help Larry Hoover right now. And furthermore, he is very right. They have turned every last one of our political leaders into some type of gang figure, into some type of monster, into some type of crazy person. Every single one of our positive black leaders, they have made out to be psychos.
And that's not just it. The communities, nigga, it's so many acres in America. We don't have to stay in the inner city. We don't have to stay on top of each other. They motherfucking made the Twix double the size, trying to make us fat. They doing this inclusive shit. They just made that girl Paloma the head model. They trying to push fucking obesity to us. They put us in a McDonald's commercial. They put your brother in a McDonald's commercial. They try to put me in a McDonald's commercial. McDonald's kills you, my nigga. They not putting healthy shit. You can grow fucking food right off the side of the ground, my nigga. You don't gotta pay for all this shit. And fuck all this Chanel shit we do to impress niggas going broke to impress other broke people, man.
Yeah.
Fuck the Chanel bag. Ari Emanuel, your brother fucked up my city. Your brother turned Obama hair white. Rahm Emanuel, y'all don't do y'all facts. All y'all niggas want to talk about. Let me tell you, anybody ever talk to my red how y'all put me in a fucking hospital? Fucking Chinese water torture. Oh, yeah. Million questions. Everybody around me telling me I can't wear it. Nigga, you can't tell me the color of my hat Y'all can't tell me shit, nigga. No, none of y'all motherfuckers here with no Instagram, nobody living, nobody at, and I don't want to hear shit from none of these Jewish niggas talk about, oh, he's in an episode.
Now, what Kanye just spoke about subliminally was with the Chinese water torture. What he spoke about just now, if you guys remember, back when Kanye first went on a crazy rant and spoke and said that LeBron was going to be in the news the following week, and he actually was. He was in the news the following week, I believe, for the Epstein comment. Kanye had a nervous breakdown, they said, and was hospitalized for weeks. That was the hospitalization that he's talking about. And I kind of knew that. They basically shut Kanye up a couple of different times and vanished Kanye West off and basically just tried to silence him behind the scenes. But as you can easily see, that was not successful as far as silencing him.
That nigga follow me to the fucking hotel. The nigga killed Aaron Carter, and now they acting like they won't clear the back street.
Now, did you hear that? They killed Aaron Carter. He basically is letting out the information of how they assassinated Aaron Carter. The actual singer, Aaron Carter. If you don't know who he's talking about.
Example, you get what I'm saying? Harley Pasternak Pusha, your trainer. Harley Pasternak, Jay-Z. You get what I'm saying? And then niggas be hanging around these niggas just for the money or some Mike Rubin shit. Slap the shit out of Mike Rubin. I see that nigga there.
He just let out a lot of different things in one sentence. He let out the fact that the same trainer that is Jay-Z's trainer and a lot of Hollywood's trainers actually had access to Aaron Carter and was his trainer and assassinated him. Interesting. A lot of people have been saying, and we went over this before, about the dark music industry secrets and the different ways that these staff members can actually get closer to the celebrities than the actual friends of the celebrities and get them removed. The next thing he spoke about was Michael Rubin. Notice how Michael Rubin has also been getting linked to a lot of different things. Well, not necessarily a lot of different things, but more so the all-white party. Meek Mill. Lil Baby. Why was Jay-Z there? Why was Drake there? Why was Odell Beckham there? Why was Diddy there? There were a lot of questions behind the Mike Rubin party.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, fuck these niggas, bro. Fuck these niggas, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my Farrakhan Don shit right now, bro. Because guess what? These Yeezys gonna sell. They sabotaged the show today. They sabotaged the Instagram. They cut off the fucking Adidas contract. They did all the shit. Then they want to go get Light Skin Ye. You gotta understand. That's Jerry. His real name is Light Skin Ye, bro. Deadass, he told me that was his name. It's Light Skin Ye. They want the light skin version. They want a George Floyd. They want a...
They had actually shut down the Rapture rave that he was promoting the new album with Ty Dolla $ign. And if you notice, that album never came out now. He was promoting a new album with Ty Dolla $ign that was shut down, never came out, and now the actual promotion of the album was shut down as well. Again, the many different ways that Kanye is being blackballed.
Virgil, they don't let me speak at the funeral. I saw 2, 3, 4, 5 white people not let me speak at Virgil. None of y'all niggas and Drake, nigga. Hey, hold on, be quiet while I'm talking, baby. Drake, I love you. I'm gonna get the tattoo. But any of y'all niggas, Trav, Drake, whoever, y'all gotta show up. And don't tell me I'm talking crazy. Y'all niggas, I motherfucking Pharrell and me. Hey, come on, me. Pharrell, we broke down this door. We all in this shit together. We all in this shit together. And we all dealing with a lot of... And what I'm telling you, a lot of people have shit to say about my Jewish comments, but ain't nobody in this motherfucking room, and none of y'all entertaining niggas ever said nothing when I was praying to see my kids one of the last days what's my nigga that got fucking locked up for the Megan Stallion shit?
Oh, Tory.
Okay, look. So Tory Lanez called me. We were saying prayers. We were saying prayers on the phone together. And I prayed that day. And y'all saw that shit. And y'all saw when I couldn't see my kids, when I couldn't see Chicago too. All y'all niggas on Instagram got some shit to say. Y'all niggas saw this shit. Don't tell me about my fucking political opinion. I made more money to show you that money ain't nothing. It's our money, nigga. It's our country, nigga. It's I stole it from us. It's pyramids, nigga. It's pyramids in St. Louis, nigga, Missouri. They stole it. All the shit. America just the latest bitch that been ran through so many times. The Greeks hit her. Mansa Musa hit her. We had her. The Indians and shit. The motherfucking pilgrims. It's the Jewish niggas. They dress the same, nigga. It's the same shit. That's the story. They put us in the school. The Rothschilds. I know Jay-Z back here like, oh, this nigga gonna die now. I've been here for a year, my nigga. Yeah. They can't fucking touch me. Why? Because God covered me. He covered me. And guess what, Trump? We ain't giving you the support unless you get Larry out. Unless you get Jeff out. You understand what I'm saying? Because y'all niggas, y'all politicians think y'all gonna just get our shit for free. Oh, all of a sudden, nigga, because you got a mugshot, you with us now? No, nigga. No, what you gonna do for us? What they gonna do for us? Y'all niggas done voted Democrat all these motherfucking times. Y'all niggas showing up at the LV show. These niggas is colonizers, nigga. The French own 80% of the banks in Africa, nigga. That's why I just met with MBS, nigga, head of Saudi. Nigga, we don't have to bow to this shit, nigga. Okay, it's 60 million of us in America, 60 million Jews in the world. 50% of our deaths is abortion. 25% of us go to prison. Raise one hand if you don't know one nigga in prison, one nigga got locked up, and one nigga poor. Raise your hand if you don't know one person got abortion. Now I tell you, if we was in a Jewish mother on Friday with no fucking, everybody raised their hands. So wait a second. But wait a second. Who make the hospitals though? Who got the hospitals? These are Zionists, nigga. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Jesus Christ, Hitler, yay. Third party, sponsor that, nigga. Bring the sponsorships to that. Because there's going to be some niggas that feel exactly like me. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I'm 7'3". I don't give a fuck about life or death. I get visitation with my kids. I ain't got no say so. Them niggas walk around look like soccer players. They don't even fucking know. They don't even know the dad, the kid. They'll see me come play one on nobody.
They still feel you, though.
They'll feel me, but they trying to program them. The head of Louis Vuitton, Bernard Arnault, fuck you. Alexander Arnault, fuck you. Francois Pinault, fuck you. Dimna, fuck you. Fuck Balenciaga. Fuck Cedric.
Buy the Yeezy Pods. Buy the Yeezy Pods.
Fuck Gap and fuck Adidas, nigga. All you niggas is like fucking still wearing Adidas. Nigga, don't say me shit. Nigga, I'm by myself in this motherfucking room, nigga. Everybody shut the fuck up. Hey, shut the fuck up. Let me tell you something right now. Just the fact that you ain't listening to me, ain't none of y'all niggas with me. I'm by my fucking self. Because ain't none of y'all niggas stand up for me. Ain't nobody stop. Shut up. Be quiet before you get exiled. So I'm saying is, nobody with me. Everybody here, half the motherfuckers on a check. Half the motherfuckers just here like, ha ha, laughing at jokes, laughing at the raps and shit. Nigga, I made these beats in my mama's basement. I drew these motherfucking shoes since I was in 7th grade, nigga. Because when I asked niggas step up, not one nigga stepped up. Not one nigga stepped up.
Unfortunately, we are witnessing, as we analyze this, if you notice, Kanye has jumped from subject to subject to subject to subject to subject without having one conclusive, or should I say consistent, conclusive thought. When I say that, I want you to also analyze, as we watch the rest of this, that we might not see or hear from Kanye. I know we've now gotten word of his new Vatican City that he's building, but because that has become public news and people know that Kanye has resources, I just want all of you to now think about this and prepare yourselves for the next coming months that we might see the actual demise of Kanye West, unfortunately.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. None of the famous niggas, Mav Carter sold me out. You know what I'm saying? Nobody fucking stay. Y'all saw me, ain't see my kids. All y'all rich niggas got y'all kids in that Zionist school. Fuck Sierra Canyon. My daughter ripped up the motherfucking couches in the house to be able to be with me right now. Y'all don't know what's going on, for real. Where y'all TikToking and all that shit. Y'all put up with all that shit. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I'm in Vegas, like Pop. My daughter had the Tupac fucking t-shirt. So I'm saying, witness this shit. Visit this shit. But I don't believe in nobody but me, nigga. Y'all don't gotta say we with you. You're not with me. No one's with me because no one's really with me. It's just me and God. That's what I'm saying. And I'm still alive.
Let's go.
And I'm still alive. You ain't post. You ain't with me. You ain't post. When I couldn't see my kids, y'all ain't post. Y'all ain't stopped the Adidas shit. Y'all niggas let Adidas crash the richest nigga of all time.
Y'all know I did.
Adidas was begging.
Wait a second. I put up one tweet, and then Ari Emanuel put, "Oh, we got to drop this nigga," and all niggas just watch. The only nigga that had the Trump hat. The only nigga that went and got them billions. The only nigga that's breaking through all kinds of ideas in fashion. I've been called a faggot so many times for tight jeans. You know what I'm saying? I got niggas from Chicago that I take care of that still trying to sell me. Trying to say I can't go to motherfucking GD. Nigga, I've been way bigger folks than you, nigga. You niggas don't take care of me.
Right now, your thing is between you and God.
Who you, shut up. Who you think, no, hold on. Who you think the old man called? When we put Drake on stage, who the old man called?
You.
You know what I'm saying?
Because God put you in position.
Nigga, just because I had a car, nigga, fuck everybody, nigga.
You the biggest vessel.
That's what I'm trying to say to you niggas right fucking now, nigga.
Vessel.
This is what y'all been waiting for. Drake, this is what you been waiting for. Jay-Z, this is what you been waiting for. Kim, this is what you been waiting for. All you niggas, look, let me tell you something. This is the way the world works.
God is using him right now.
Okay, be quiet for a second. Let's for a second.
I love you, but okay.
No, you gotta get over.
Hey, sorry. Come down, please.
God runs the world. Then under that, you got 1,000-year-old families, Medici. Under that, you have the Vatican, the Pope. Under that, you have the financial groups that control all your shit. BlackRock, Vanguard. After that, you have Putin. You have Trump. You have all this shit. And after that, you got what all this shit is. Entertainment. Hollywood. Take that, run that back, run into schools. I'm going to give y'all one last thing before I go. When I first put the tweet up, I was dealing with a divorce lawyer. And I explained to the lawyer what my issue was. And his response was to me, if you keep up this anti-Semitic rhetoric, then you won't see your kids. A nigga I knew said I couldn't have an opinion or I wouldn't see my kids. Y'all know who y'all fucking playing with? This is a vessel of God. He gonna burn all your shit down. I swear. I knew these niggas is trying to make surviving this way. That's why I sent it up while I was still in the high schools. Bill Cosby couldn't do shit by the time they got him. R. Kelly couldn't do shit by the time they got him. That's why I had to send it up. Because the same niggas that made him rich is the same niggas doing the documentary. And fuck Cootie, fuck you, because everybody saw that third episode. That's what the whole shit was about.
Period.
Me selling opioids. I'm not even bipolar and I got signs of autism from the accident. They're going to hit me with a fucking medication, have us selling opioids for them. They made me the face of bipolar. Okay, nigga, Big Pharma, where my royalties, nigga? For all the fucking drugs you done sold off of the idea of being bipolar.
Don't say shit right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They come here so
I think I pretty much wrapped up.
Still talking.
And I do believe that there was more to that, but we kept only finding out that there was only like a 15-minute one. But then I saw there was a 15-minute part 1, 15-minute part 2, and then I'm like, they all were the same shit. So, and they all cut off pretty much at the same point. But yes, as I said before, I think we are, unfortunately, witnessing the demise of Kanye West. Excuse me. I've seen this part in the movie too many times before to not know what happens next. Is what I'm saying. As I said before, we're going to do a deep dive into how this same thing was done to DMX. The same thing was done to Michael Jackson. Same thing was done to Prince. The only difference in this is that Kanye is loud about it. But you notice what he also keeps saying throughout that entire rant is what? And I'm still alive. And I'm still alive. They ain't killed me yet. And I'm still alive. Because he knows that they're coming for him. He knows. And I just feel sorry for, yes, his actual kids. I feel sorry for Chicago. And I damn sure feel sorry for Northwest. Like, I cry sometimes when I see Northwest. Because I know what her dad's going through. And I know what she's going through. Just hearing him say that, like, yo, my daughter ripped up couches to be with me. And if y'all think about it, like, that really did happen for the simple fact that she don't like being around Kim. You see that. You see North doesn't necessarily, and I could be wrong, but you see it vocally that she doesn't necessarily like being around her mom, unfortunately. And I think it's whatever is going, that friction of confusion that's been created between parents, the mom and the dad, unfortunately. Whatever's going on with them is whatever's going on with them and their family in between things, but you can visibly see what affects North and how she is. When people are asking, oh, do you like what your mom does? And she responds, what does my mom do? That's a sign right there. When she's responding, what does my mom do? I don't see her doing anything all day. When she responds like that publicly, and then you saw the Christmas gift she got of her mom being a crying emoji. She's a comedian. She's essential to the culture. I keep telling y'all. Northwest is essential to the fucking culture. And we will see how that is in the years to come. But, yeah, man. God bless to Kanye. But what Kanye was actually touching on is leading into what our next topic is going to be, which is going to be Mr. T.D. Jakes. But before we get into that, something came out recently. Well, should I say not recently, but something. It was ironic that this resurfaced recently, because it resurfaced the same week that Kanye did this rant, and I keep telling y'all about distractions.
Fuck Kanye West, I hate that nigga, man. Plus, I seen the nigga at one of our parties and shit sucking dick in the bathroom.
Now, that clip came out exactly 10 years ago. I know Method Man was running around saying, oh, the video was fake and whatnot. First of all, you couldn't fake videos back then. You couldn't fake AI anything 10 years ago, as far as our technology is concerned. Whether the government got all that other shit, but yeah. But as far as us, you and me, we couldn't AI put Method Man's face on anything 10 years ago and put it on YouTube, okay? So Method Man's clip of him saying that he saw Kanye West at one of Diddy's parties sucking dick in a bathroom, it doesn't sound too far-fetched nowadays, does it? When you say Diddy party in the same sentence of it. That is the unfortunate part of that. However, like I said, it was ironic that this came in the same week of Kanye West, because I said to myself, why are there so many different distractions? Why are there so many different distractions from this one particular topic? And the particular topic I am talking about is the one of the church. Mr. T.D. Jakes, it is time you come on down to the congregation, sir. Because the church has some questions for you, but not only for you. But it seems the people have had some questions for the church. Speaking of which, let us go to that now, shall we?
I ain't come to convince you or nobody, because I know who I am. I came to hear the master say, well done, thou good and faithful servant.
Geno Jennings is a bold preacher known for his straightforward and unapologetic approach to delivering his messages. He's often praised for his fearlessness in addressing controversial topics and expressing the views of the scriptures without hesitation. Jennings is recognized for telling it like it is, as he doesn't shy away from discussing challenging subjects whenever he is teaching. His bold and direct communication style has garnered both supporters and critics, but it undeniably sets him apart in the realm of religious discourse. During one of his live broadcasts, he publicly criticized T.D. Jakes for associating with Diddy and attending his parties.
T.D. Jakes was hanging out at a rapper and twerking party that Puff Daddy held. He's sitting right there, old T.D. Snakes.
Amen.
They there twerking and everything. T.D. Snakes right there.
My Lord, my Lord.
You see, they want the world to look at them as men of God, but they are really scared to be real men of God as a result of repercussion.
That's right.
They want to be loved by the sinner. They don't even care if they're not loved by God.
No.
They want to be accepted by the sinner.
That's right.
And they don't care if God don't accept them.
That's right.
And that is the reason why churches are going to hell, is because you want to be so much like the sinner, you are the sinner.
You are.
And the sinner don't respect you.
Rumors about T.D. Jakes started spreading on Monday, December 18th. In a video by Tough News TV, it was suggested that Jakes had attended events with Diddy, engaging in same-gender relationships, and allegedly engaging in inappropriate behavior with a minor. The video said the government got evidence from Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. She supposedly settled a lawsuit, claiming Diddy abused her for almost 10 years. Many social media influencers, including TikTok user Justine, shared the video, which got almost 2 million views. It went viral quickly, making Jakes a hot topic on different social media platforms.
So allegedly, Cassie has turned over evidence to the feds. Yes, to the feds. She has turned over videotapes, a USB drive, and Kim Porter's burner phone. Now, there is also an alleged email out saying a plethora of other things that include T.D. Jakes.
During his Christmas service streamed on YouTube, Jakes advised followers not to focus on recent allegations. He said, "For those concerned about what I'll say, if you expect me to address a lie, you can log off. I won't use this sacred day and pulpit to discuss falsehoods when I have the opportunity to preach the truth." This was shared amid applause from the audience. He told his followers, instead of arguing, just log off.
Out of concern, some of you come in to hear what I'm going to say. All of you who expect me to address a lie, you can log off. I will not use this sacred day and this sacred pulpit to address a lie when I have a chance to preach a truth. I will stand straight up, head up, back straight. I will stand straight up, head up, back straight, and preach the unadulterated, infallible word of God. Because that is what the pulpit is for. But there will be a time.
I'm nervous.
So you can stop dragging people and arguing with people and fighting and just log off. All you do is just hit the button. Right there. Log off. There is no show here.
The judgment of God is getting close to you, and you having too much fun to even see it, to even know it.
Rumors suggested he attended parties with Diddy, but his spokesperson, Jordan Ora, called these claims false. Ora quoted Pastor Charles Spurgeon, saying, "Truth needs an express train, but lies fly easily." The spokesperson labeled viral videos as deepfakes and a distortion of words. The spokesperson emphasized that there's important work to be done to create a better world. Referring to the Bible, she highlighted compassion for the marginalized. She said despite false rumors, Jakes remains dedicated to creating positive change globally through compassion, service, and ministry. Jake's team continued to protect his reputation by releasing statements. Derek Williams, the executive vice president of TD Jakes Entertainment, explained that TD Jakes attended Diddy's birthday party a few years ago because of his close ties to the entertainment industry. Williams mentioned that as the CEO of TD Jakes Entertainment, Jakes, known for his role in value-based movies, wanted to show respect to Diddy, the former chairman of Revolt, during the birthday celebration. Williams clarified that Bishop Jakes was in L.A. for important business meetings, and attending Diddy's party was a brief and respectful gesture, especially considering that Bishop Jakes' sermons are broadcast on the Revolt network.
Interesting. And I had to stop it right there. You heard it live in color, in 4K. Whose network is it on? You guessed it. TD Jakes? Why is the word of God on the Revolt? I'm just saying. But as they say, or as I always say, you know, do not take my word for it at all. We don't do accusations around here or defamations. We clip style over here. But with that being said, so apparently I did some digging, and this wasn't the first time that these accusations have been made. In fact, prophecy would have it, as they say, these accusations were made a couple years ago, actually. Actually, 2 years ago, if we're being technical. You see, this ain't the first time that gentleman had something to say about TD Jakes.
Hey fam, those that have been watching me, I've been saying that in 2024 it's going to be the year of exposure. Actually, and God is exposing certain people. People that normally was able to use their power, their influence, and their money to silence people, those days are over.
Before we get to him,
have you noticed now anything and anyone, they call themselves Christians? You will have a gay parade. That's right.
This was 2 years ago. Notice, it's the same exact gentleman that just went viral for making the same exact accusations about the P. Diddy party.
85% of the homosexuals will say we're Christians. Ask yourself, viewers, why TD Jakes don't say nothing about homosexuality, same-sex marriages, men with men, women with women? Think. Why don't he say nothing?
Is it just me? Well, this guy's had beef with TD Jakes for a long time.
He's busy flapping his hands around. Why don't he say nothing? Either you are against it or you condone it. If you are against wrong, you'll speak out against the wrong. I forgot the gentleman's name. A journalist gave an interview to Jakes. No, not Pierce Morgan. And he asked Jakes a question. Can homosexuality, in fact, the interview is on YouTube. Can homosexuality and the church coexist? Jakes didn't stutter. He said, why, certainly. Then Jakes said, there's many ways. There's a whole lot of ways to get to God.
A question coming in from Black 185 in our digital community said, do you think, I'm assuming, LGBT community and the black church can coexist?
Absolutely.
Let me push that question, because that's sort of an obvious yes. Church ain't turning nobody away. how should the black church and LGBT community exist?
I think it's going to be diverse from church to church. Every church has a different opinion on the issue, and every gay person is different. And I think that to speak the church, the black church or white church or any kind of church you want to call it, are all the same is totally not true. And all gay people are not the same. The types of relationships that are afforded are based on the types of people in each individual case. Yeah. And LGBTs of types and sorts have to find a household of worship that reflects what your views are and what you believe like anybody else. And the church should have the right to have its own convictions and values. If you don't like those convictions and values, you totally disagree with it, don't try to change my house, move into your own and establish that sort of thing and find somebody who gets what you get about faith. And trust me, I've talked to enough LGBT, they are not all the same.
Oh, for sure. Any more than all Christians.
No.
But how do we, first of all, has your thinking evolved on this?
Evolved and evolving. Evolved and evolving.
Where were you and where are you?
I think that where I am is to better understand, the church bought into the myth that this was a Christian nation. And once you get past that, which a lot of people are going to criticize me because they're still going to think it's a Christian nation, which is a whole different show. But once you begin to understand that democracy and that a republic actually is designed to be an overarching system to protect our unique nuances, then we no longer look for public policy to reflect biblical ethics. If we can divide, or what you would call separation of church and state, then we can dwell together more effectively. Because atheists, agnostics, Jews, all types of people, Muslims pay into the government then cannot reflect one particular view over another just because we are the dominant group of religious people in the country, because those numbers are changing every day.
You heard it. Who's atheists and who's diagnostics? Run the government? He basically let out a lot of different things subliminally there. Number one, he let you know that the government and the Democratic government and the Republican government are very much behind homosexuality. Therefore, we have to be behind it as well. Another thing subliminally you didn't catch there was that this goes far beyond Christianity. He said that this goes beyond Christianity, the conversation and topic. Are you following what he's trying to say?
Need a neutralized government that protects our right to disagree with one another and agree with one another.
So that covers what happens outside the church.
Right.
Inside the church, has your thinking biblically, scripturally, hermeneutically shifted at all? And the reason I ask that is because I talk to a lot of ministers now, and there was that big conference in South Africa in the last couple of weeks where people from all over the world were there, and this is one of the issues that came up along with race and other things. And one of the questions was, is there a way to approach Christian tradition, Christian scripture, in light of a new understanding of LGBT? For example, 18th century, there might have been a particular understanding of what slavery meant in relation to Paul, in relation to the New Testament, et cetera. That has shifted to the point that it is socially accepted that irrespective of what text says literally, we don't support slavery as a body, right? And even though it varies church, most churches don't support slavery. Right. Might be a few out there that do. We don't get invited to those. But similarly, there's room for that same kind of shift.
I think that shift has to go on behind the closed doors of the church, because I think in the mainstream America, anybody who doesn't agree with you, we have a derogatory name to call you. And I think it oversimplifies the complexity of text. The fact that you have fidelity to the scriptures as you have been taught does not mean that you're necessarily homophobic or any other kind of phobia, but yet in mainstream America, anybody who doesn't line up with a particular worldview, we give them a name to ostracize them, much like we were given names to ostracize us. this name calling does not depict the struggle that many people have theologically. I think the argument has to be theological and not sociological. The fact that the world has turned that way doesn't mean that the word has changed that way. The argument for clergy, fundamental clergy, has to be a theological argument. It cannot be a sociological one.
If I went out of time, I would push you on this. And one day I'm gonna bring you back just to talk about this because I'm fascinated by your take on it. And I want to not just challenge you on it, I want to understand your thinking on this, because the thing I appreciate about you most is that you operate in good faith. You're honest, you're transparent, and about your struggle with these things, and about your convictions about
Well, it's a complex issue. It's a real complex issue, and it was in the Bible days. Sexuality versus spirituality. Paul spends a lot of time wrestling back and forth, trying to understand, should a woman wear her head covered? Should you cut your hair? I mean, they grappled back then, and we're grappling now because we are humans, and we are flawed, and we're not God. Once you understand you're not God, you leave yourself an out clause to grow.
I know that's right.
Yeah, to grow.
You's a liar. There's one way to get to God. The Bible says a highway shall be there. And a way. And that way shall be called the way of holiness. These men, they hate the Bible. So this is why you see the potter house, but God is going to crack that pottery. Many ways to get to God. The Bible don't teach that foolishness.
Jesus saith unto him.
Listen at this.
Now in the book of St. John, chapter 14 and at verse 6.
Let's compare what Jake said to what Jesus said. Give chapter and verse again.
St. John, chapter 14 and at verse 6.
John 14:26 said.
St. John 14 and verse 6.
All right, John 14 and verse 6. All right.
Jesus saith unto him.
Jesus says unto him,
I am the way.
No, I have many ways.
I am the way.
Spell way.
W-A-Y.
S.
W-A-Y.
Where's the S?
No S. W-A-Y.
T.D. Jakes is nothing but an evangelistic liar.
That's right.
As you can hear, there's a couple people that got some words from Mr. Jakes and questioning his teachings of the Lord. Speaking of people questioning his teachings, someone caught him doing this.
What do y'all think of this?
My birthday is tomorrow. His wife's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! My birthday is tomorrow. His wife's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
My boy getting down, isn't he? My boy getting down?
Let's talk about it in the comment section.
Y'all saw my boy getting down real quick. Now look at T.D. Jakes there. Now, does that look like it might be far-fetched from him being at a Diddy party? Well, if that don't convince you that he might be at a Diddy party, well, why don't we take a look at what be on T.D. Jakes' TV show? What in the hell is going on here in the church? This is T.D. Jakes' television show. Now, I don't know if this is on Revolt, but if it is, I wouldn't be shocked, considering who runs Revolt. But, you know, What do I know? And if I was to turn on the TV and see this foolishness, I am quickly turning it back off. And TD look like he is having the time of his life watching this entertainment, isn't he? Look at him. Look at the man up and down, up and down. It is just him in front of that man. Oh my goodness. And I'm even more appalled by the audience. The TD Jake Show, y'all. The TD Jake Show. That's what's be going on in the TD Jake Show. Oh my goodness. Look at this here. This is what the world is coming to, y'all. This is what the world is coming to. But since the card fell on the floor, I might as well show y'all the ace of spades that fell on the floor. That is right. The ace of spades that fell on the floor was Mr. Prophet Manasseh. Am I saying that right? Mr. Manasseh Jordan. Manasseh Jordan Ministries. Now, if you're not familiar with who Manasseh Jordan Ministries is, Manasseh Jordan Ministries, or should I say Manasseh Jordan, or Jordan Manasseh, I don't know which way you say that, was an actual mentoree, if you will, of Mr. T.D. Jakes, and made something of himself. But he also had some very telling things about Mr. T.D. Jakes that came out into the light recently.
Hey fam, those that have been watching me, I've been saying that in 2024 it's going to be the year of exposure. And God is exposing certain people. People that normally was able to use their power, their influence, and their money to silence people, those days are over. And before I hear people saying that, oh, this is sowing tear in the body of Christ, the Holy Spirit is a spirit of truth. So before you say, touch not my anointing, do my prophets no harm, that's a nescient statement, because that scripture is referring to Israel. You're taking the scripture out of context. And if the Holy Spirit is a spirit of truth, then speaking truth is not sowing tears. It's bringing reformation and healing. In my 20s, I got to be around some of the biggest men and women of God. And I got to witness things because I got to see them without their armor. One of the things that really happens, and it's seldom talked about, is that there's something called grooming. And it happens in the Pentecostal church. It happens in many churches, but I'm referring to the black church specifically. And what that means is that there'll be a bishop, a pastor, apostle, someone who has big conferences. Everybody knows, oh my God, they're the holy man of God. And they will pick their victims and they groom them. And it first goes through stage one where they ask questions. What are you into? What do you like? You need to tell daddy everything. And so they're using verbosity and they're using this type of garrulous narrative to try to make you feel comfort, to make you build comfort with their victim. And then from there it goes into stage two. And stage two is where it begins to become sexual. And it first starts by either making facetious jokes, making little statements, innuendos, and then it goes into the questions of what turns you on? What do you like sexually? You need to tell me this because I need to know, because I need to be able to pray for you. So it's almost like a psychological power game that they're playing with you. And in your head, if you say something wrong, they project it on you. They body shame you. Oh, you're too sexual. Oh, look at your body. Oh, you're the one that's making me do this. Oh, and so you have that in the back of your head. And then you also have in their head of their dumb, misinformed followers who are pushing this predatory narrative because they're so in awe with either trying to be like them, either worshiping them, or not worshiping God, or worshiping their denomination or where they come from. And so they're not even there seeing with the eyes of truth, but they're there seeing out of carnality. And so they're sitting up there and they're protecting them. And the leader, the bishop, the pastor, they know this. And so they know, and they feel invisible. Oh, I can get away with this. I just have to make a statement to my church. I just have to tell them, and they're never going to question. Why is it so many people? Why is it always coming up? Why is everybody lying? So everybody's lying? Where there's a mouse, there's mice. And then it goes into the third stage. And the third stage is where they try to become intimate with you. And if you do not allow this, they drop you. They treat you like you're nothing. And they abandon that young male or that young woman. But from my experience, I can only speak from a young male point of view. They abandon that young male and they treat them like they're nothing because they didn't acquiesce to what they wanted sexually. And they look for another victim. And they know they can get away with it because their followers are not people that love the Lord. They worship the pastor. They worship the bishop. So they're not seeking for truth. And so this is the day and age that we're in. And I still believe that there are believers that do not worship personalities, so to speak. They don't care who you are. They don't care if you're bishop this, prophet this, apostle that. But they really love the Lord. And so they really are worshiping the spirit of truth, which is Jesus. And they really are about that. And so they can see past that. I want to say to victims that might not have a platform or might feel like you're going to be judged. You can't say nothing, because this is what they try to tell you. You're going to be judged. You can't say nothing. You're sowing seed of tear. You know, God is the judge. Yeah, we know God is the judge, but God judges people also through legal systems. God judges people also through other people. There's a group of Christians, and we're here, and we believe in you, and we're here to support you. And if you've been feeling in your heart that you can't say nothing, now's the time for you to speak out. There's still a remnant group of Christians that are not worshiping celebrities. They're not worshiping how big someone's conference is, who they are, or their name, or their notoriety, but they believe in truth, and they're here for you. And I'm not a victim, but I'm someone that is speaking truth to help victims that have experienced this, to say, we see you. And there's a group of Christians, men and women of God, that are the true men and women of God, that are here to pray for you. Some of the biggest monsters are right in front of your face, and they manipulate their pulpit to push their nasty agenda, and their followers are duplicitous to it.
Denied the rumors that accused him of
So I really wanted him to get his full thing out without really interruption, for the simple fact, I mean, he's going to say the same thing that a lot of people are saying, but he really got into detail of the actual grooming process that goes on within the church. As you heard, there's steps to it, of course, and there's different ways on how the actual grooming and the sexual assault actually starts to happen. And if you're not down with it, that they start to just cast you out. They start to cast you away and just say, hey, we don't want nothing to do with you. There's going to be people down the block don't want nothing to do with you. Matter of fact, the whole network of things is going to say, we good with this guy. And the crazy thing is, that wasn't the first time that I seen his face. So he's one of those that I say, hey, whatever happened to him? Well, now we know what happened to him, and why he's a former mentee of Mr. T.D. Jakes. Somebody wasn't down with it. Somebody wasn't down with the get down from Mr. T.D. Jakes and got vanished away. And now is deciding to speak on that. He had to start up his own thing, his own ministry or whatever. But isn't it interesting how now quite a few people have had the same exact thoughts on Mr. T.D. Jakes that could possibly have some insight behind the scenes, you know? I'm just saying. For him to talk about the entire grooming process that the pastors and the fathers actually put the younger youth looking up to them through, and to when they aspire to get into these situations, what they actually go through behind the scenes. Interesting. So, let's talk about this, right? Remember, this isn't the first time that T.D. Jakes has been accused of this, right? They say. So let's pull up the fact that he was prophesized that something would happen to him just about a year ago. Sister Celestial, with a couple of people. Matter of fact, I think I still have it pulled up actually here. There's actually a couple of people actually.
Hello again.
The same exact things. Sister Celestial, T.D. Jakes. Yes, this is what I wanted to show. So, real quick, just so y'all understand what I'm trying to say here. If we look, right, it says T.D. Jakes' prophecy, death is in his judgment. Death is his judgment by the Lord. That's a year ago. If I scroll down, I see prophetic warning, T.D. Jakes, in a word of God, in a word for God's people. So it seems that prophecy is starting to speak now for Mr. T.D. Jakes. Isn't that something? But again, do not take my word for it. Let us turn now to Sister Celestial.
Hello, how are you? Welcome to another one here on Truth and Love the Church. So there have been some trending news with some has been verified as of yet, but there is a prophetic word which I saw, which was released last year by this lady, and I saw it on your YouTube channel. Let's get into it. Tell us what you think about this. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Meet you in the next one. God bless you.
Part of the prophecy is called T.D. Jakes. T.D. Jakes is a homosexual and a pedophile. He has defiled minors. He has used boys willingly and against their will. He is brotherhood, fallen brotherhood, secret brotherhood. He will be exposed, and the filth will hit the newspapers in every country where his name has ever been famous, where his touch has ever been felt. This is a worldwide scandal. To the extent that he defiled, meaning to the extent that he abused and defiled, especially the young ones, let him be defamed. That means let the name that he has left behind in the earth be utterly destroyed. This is the judgment of the watcher speaking in heaven against this man's name and legacy. He will not have any legacy left. God says before this man dies, he will not have any legacy left. He will die fighting for the last shreds of his dignity and legacy. He will die fighting. Listen, those of you who sit on the fence. He will die fighting not for the mercy of God to be restored to him. What a terrible thing it is to lose the love, the favor, and the mercy of God. He will not die fighting for mercy to come back to him. God says he will die fighting for his name that he values above God. That is the Lord's assessment of him. He will battle in court. He will battle the press. He will battle his accusers. He will battle unsuccessfully to suppress evidence in a court of law. He will fight and say that certain tapes, certain text messages should not be admitted into evidence. He will use money, power, clout, and influence, but to no avail, says the Lord. He will not protect his ministry and empire. God says that the potter's house will fall. The potter's house and everybody in it will fall. And every single piece of it, the Lord has been saying, will come out and be admitted into evidence. Prepare the way of the Lord, for whatever has been done in darkness must come out, says the Most High of all flesh. I have given seats to men. I have given callings. I have given gifts. I have given them mentorship power. I have put my people under their care. Instead, they went to the dark side and they drank from the devil's cup. Yet I said, you cannot drink the cup of God and of devils. This is 1 Corinthians 10, 21 and 22. You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons. You cannot partake of the Lord's table and of the table of demons.
You heard her. You cannot do one and the same at the same time. And for her to have that prophecy a year ago, now, interesting enough, it seems to be that people are just coming out the woodworks with prophecy during the Age of Enlightenment. People are starting to fulfill prophecy as far as their skeletons being let out of the closet and information being known about them. So, took it upon myself to also find someone that was within the church of T.D. Jakes. And she's been doing a podcast, as you say. So let's listen to, break down, and analyze what this young lady has to say.
I started to share this story with you all exactly 1 year to today's date. I mean, I started the conversation with you on December 22nd, 2022. That podcast I've linked in the description box for any of you who didn't hear it. And that hearing that will be vital to understanding a lot more of this story that I'm not going to be able to tell everything here. But I'm astonished at the timing because here I am 1 year later and I will tell you this was not planned. I'm going to share many things on the podcast, part 1 and part 2 that I know. And I will tell you all that I'm not worried about being sued. Anything I share here, I'm not worried about being sued. And just to be sure that anyone listening understands that, I will be giving the first initial of names, okay? Because, yeah, there are people talking who are just sharing rumors, but not all of us are sharing rumors, okay?
So you heard that. We getting into straight
part 2 will be up
one.
after part 1. So let's just get started. So several of you had asked me my thoughts about the TD Jakes trending, over the last day or so. And so this is my way of responding to the listener request. It's just by actually telling you the story that I started to tell you guys on the podcast that's in the description box. All of this stuff is about to come out and more is going to come out. And I also want you to stay with me to the end on both part 1 and part 2, because we need to encourage. I want to encourage you, and you may need to be the strength for a younger person in Christ, because yes, there are some of us, when all this stuff comes out, we're not going to be devastated because maybe we knew some of these things, but there will be those who are tender spiritually. A lot of us, we got thick skin spiritually, meaning we've seen some stuff, maybe been through some stuff with ministries or what have you. And so pretty much nothing can surprise us, right? But you got to understand that not everyone is in that position. And don't ever shame people, intentionally shame people for being devastated when someone they've looked up to isn't who they thought they were. See, don't go on a rant about, don't put people on a pedestal. See, that's you, or if it were me, not understanding. All of us have come through that period in our spiritual growth where there was somebody, whether local church or on TV or whoever, that we looked up to, right? It's human nature. And so what I'm training myself to do is never kind of slap people on the hand for just being human. And heck, doing things that I've done. There were lots of people when I first gave my life to the Lord that I looked up to, that I later learned, child, they were nothing like who they portrayed themselves to be. And I was, when I saw it, it did hurt. It was a disappointment. It's normal to feel disappointed. It's like when you grow up and you learn as an adult things about your parents. Well, someone trying to correct you or slap you on the hand and saying you shouldn't be disappointed, you shouldn't put people on pedestal. Well, see, that's someone who, bless their darling hearts, I can't even say somebody like that means well, okay? It's normal. You would be disappointed when you find out mama and daddy did what, or daddy did or mama did, right? So it's one of those situations. So what I'm saying is, before I launch into this story, let's all walk very carefully. And just because nobody can see you in the comments, your conscience is there. So whatever you're going to be typing, not on this one, because the comments are closed, but as this stuff begins to come out, walk carefully. Be sensitive if you can. And if you can't, just pass up commenting, okay? So having said all that, let's go. So I had a mentor from 1999 to 2000. She was my mentor. Later on, she and I became friends. She was more of an advisor, okay? And she lived in Dallas, Texas. She lived about 15 minutes from the Potter's House, what we refer to as the old Potter's House. It's still there on Keys Boulevard, but the Potter's House of 1999, 2000 was not anything like the Potter's House that you see on television. Maybe if you're a member there now or you've been there visiting, it was nothing like that, okay? But she lived 15 minutes from the church, but she also lived down the road from what was at that time one of the best international Bible colleges in the world. So not just in the U.S., the world. And that was Christ for the Nations, okay? And what she did, because she was very well known and very well connected in that community there in Oak Cliff, she actually took in boarders from this college, okay? And they would rent rooms in her home, all right? By the time I met her, she was still renting rooms in her home, but Mr. R, okay, his first name started with an R. So Mr. R used to be a boarder in her home. Now, I don't know if he came to her by way of Christ for the Nations because she was so well connected, like friends of hers who had friends or people that were graduating college, like just regular old college. If they needed some place to stay, there was no such thing as Airbnbs. All this stuff is fairly new. They would say, oh, well, Mrs. Such and Such takes in boarders. She's got a room available and things like that. So I don't know, like I said, if that's how he came to her way, but he did. And by the time I met her, Mr. R was a grown man now in his 30s and he was married. Okay. Now, my mentor told me Mr. R is gay and his wife knows he's gay. And this was a time where a lot of us can remember this time, if we're old enough, where we didn't see homosexuality then the way we see it and know it to be now. Meaning there was a time when people believed that if a man stopped that type of behavior, let's say if it was the man on the man's part, well, then he could change if he just stopped this type of behavior. And then that was a time when women would marry men who maybe used to be homosexuals and because they believed, well, he has changed or that I can change him or whatever. I don't know if Mr. R married his wife under that guise, but I do know that they were friends for a long time before they married. And so my mentor told me his wife knows he's like that. And very often, well, I shouldn't say very often because that would be an exaggeration and I don't want to exaggerate. But from time to time, she would tell me about slip-ups. He would come and talk with her. He no longer lived with her, but she was an advisor to him. He would have these, what they call slip-ups, okay? But the wife stayed with him. And to my knowledge, he and the wife were together until the time my mentor passed away. But one day she told me that he had called her. And he told her, I need to talk with you. I need to get some advice about what I should do. At this time, my mentor, Mr. R and his wife, they were all members of the Potter's House. My mentor became a member of the Potter's House when T.D. Jakes left West Virginia and started his ministry in Dallas. Before he left West Virginia and started the ministry, he had come to Dallas, Texas a few times to do meetings. And she and all her friends, that's how they learned about him. And so the word had gotten around that he was going to be starting his ministry in Dallas. And so they were already prepared to leave their churches and join. And so they did. So my mentor, Mr. R, his wife, many other people, they all were on the ground floor of helping that ministry become what it became in Dallas. Mr. R was a part of the ministerial staff. He became a minister and he was very close to T.D. Jakes. Okay. So let me get back to the story. So basically she tells me that, well, he called and said he needed to talk to me. He needed advice because he was considering leaving the ministry. And she said he told her that he was going to share some things with her that she could never tell anybody. And so later on, she tells me and a few other people that he did come. They had set up a time and date for him to come to her house. He came and he talked with her for several hours, just divulging stuff, behind the scenes ministry stuff. And she told us some things I can never tell y'all, but what he did tell her was that T.D. Jakes was gay, and that T.D. Jakes had had a relationship with a man.
You heard it. You heard it live in living color. Someone from the ministry had been having conversations with him for several hours. And T.D. Jakes basically let them know that T.D. Jakes was gay. And that T.D. Jakes had sex with another man. T.D. Jakes said it himself.
Now, I will stop and say, whether that man was Mr. R, I don't know, because she never told us that. But then she told us there are things I can never say, I can never tell, because I swore, that I wouldn't tell, some of the stuff that he told me. But he also, there was a lady by the name of Rita Twiggs who was a part of this ministry at that time. And she was telling us that, he was telling her about how Rita Twiggs had been cussing people out behind the scenes and just a lot of stuff like that. And I'll tell you, as soon as they got through talking, she left that church. My mentor did. And it devastated her. It hurt her. And by this time, my mentor is in her 70s. When I met her, she was in her 70s, but she was later on in her 70s. But it devastated her because I just, this was a time when, we live in a day where learning that somebody's gay is kind of like, what? Okay, whatever. Because we're just so used to it. We're so used to that. Such and such has come out, such and such is now transgender. Caitlyn, Bruce is now Caitlyn. That's kind of the norm here. But this was a time when to learn someone was gay was a shock. Like it was devastating. Okay. And so she was devastated. And I'll tell y'all, she was never the same. Matter of fact, okay, so let me get back to the story because it's so easy to go down rabbit trails with this stuff. So anyway, so as soon as that was over, she left the church and she told me, I want you to come and help me find another church. And so I came back to the state. I would come for business every blue moon and I would visit her and the circle of friends that we had. But I came and not specifically just for that, but it was a time I was going to be coming and we'd set that up. And I went to 2 churches with her trying to help her find another church. And she never did. But I'll tell you, not too long after the things that Mr. R shared with her and swore her to secrecy to, she had a stroke. And I never said this to any of our friends because I didn't know if it would ever be the right thing to say, but I'm going to say it to y'all because I feel more comfortable telling it to strangers. I always believed, and I still believe it now, that it was the stuff he told her that contributed to her having that stroke because the timeline was just too close. Now, we didn't know this back then. Now, the information was out there. I'm just simply saying we didn't know it. That stress could kill you. That stress, carrying secrets and all that kind of stuff, it weighs on the human being and they can develop illnesses and things like that. And I always believe that. But anyway, she never found another church. And I think that also kind of was a distressor to her because she was one of the mothers of the church. You get what I'm saying? Not of the Potter's house, but at the church she had been at for years before she went to the Potter's house. So you can imagine as an older woman in your 70s, her husband had passed away and all those things. You're at a point where most of your life is just going to church, volunteering and doing this. And so when you're in your 70s, and that's now removed, that's a great part of your social life and your social circle. And so on a number of levels, it affected her. And like I said, she was never the same. Now, do I hold Mr. R responsible? Yeah, I do to a certain degree, because I don't know. At any rate, let me move on. Okay, so somebody had asked me about the children because I had mentioned about the children. So the Jakes have 5 children, boys, Both of their names start with a J. One is light skin, one is dark skin. I've seen both of the sons. I've met one of them in particular, talk with him. So the boys, and there's Cora and Sarah, then there's Dexter, who's now a grown man. Now, at the time my mentor was connected to the ministry, Sarita had Dexter a little bit before they left West Virginia and came to Dallas. So Dexter basically grew up in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? But at any rate, yes, it is true that the two older sons are gay. But before I talk more about that, and I'll tell you something that my mentor told me about that, the two older sons are not his biologically. They're not the sons of Jake's. And on part 2, we'll go into me sharing that part of the story, what I know. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. Especially thank you for understanding that I, as the content creator, am making a decision to make sure that the comments are closed. This is, the internet can be a cesspool. And I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm just sharing information with y'all. It's all about to come out, and it's going to be a mess. And yes, a lot of folks are going to be hurt when they find out some of these things that a lot of folks have known have been going on for years. And a lot of people have helped cover up a lot of things, and they've held secrets, and they've done a lot of things trying to help folks. And yeah, so let's go to part 2. It'll be up sometime after this one, and I'll talk to you guys on that one. My view, my opinion. Bye, guys.
So, as you heard in the very first part of that, and we're going to get to the second one in just a second, but as you heard, there were some very shocking things going on in the church of T.D. Jakes. And it sounds like there were quite a few people that knew some things, including some people that ended up, vanishing, if you will, or unaliving, including the young lady that he told that information to that suddenly had a stroke. Well, isn't this out of someone's playbook? So, moving right along, let's get into part 2 of this.
So thank you for joining me for part 2 as I continue to share the story. So I ended on part 2 talking and sharing about the sons. Both of the sons are gay. They are. And I don't say that as a dig. I don't say that to shame them. I'm just telling you the facts, okay? Now, the sons, one is darker skinned. The darker skinned son is the one who...
Oh, yeah. And that. Now, the reason why I didn't get to mention that is because, as she said, we left off with the sons are gay. But I wanted you all to hear what she had to say next in this part 2 on why she had to make a whole other part 2 on why those sons are gay.
Was caught in Keys Park many years ago. My mentor was a part of that scandal. When I say she was a part of it, I mean she was a member of his church at that time. It was on the news, Channel 8 News down there in Dallas. It was a mess. I mean, that too was a devastation for her. But the son, the darker skinned son, was the one caught in Keys Park. Keys Park is on Keys Boulevard there in Dallas. And it's about 15 minutes from the church, okay? So now, those two sons, they are not the biological children of Thomas, okay? Before, Sarita was a teen mom, okay? She had both of the boys when she was a young woman. And sometime later, I don't know if it was years, I don't know the time frame of between her having and her meeting Thomas. That part of their story, I don't know. But one of the great things that made her fall in love with Thomas was that he accepted her two boys. And yes, he did later adopt them. So he's the man that raised them, because I don't know anything about their biological father, y'all. I don't know who he is. That's the part I can't say. But yes. And again, as I shared with you on part 1, I'm not worried about being sued. I'm not. I have seen both the sons. I've talked with one of the sons. When I say talk with, I don't mean had some extensive conversation. But I remember, without going into the details, he brought we knew it was his boyfriend, but he brought his boyfriend to an event that I was a part of running. And I remember he said to me, now he did not know me, but I just was there, and he said to me, I'm about to bring my friend, he referred to him as his friend, this is the darker skinned son again, in here, and just kind of watch over him, make sure nobody bothers him, and da-da-da. And I said, oh, okay, I will. And and I tried to, and just to be clear, this was a class, it was an event, it was an educational type event, and he brought him there. So, now let me share something else. My mentor told me, and I'll never forget this, I had come to visit the state for business, and we were at Luby's, Luby', we went to Luby's, which is something down there in Texas, and kind of like a Golden Corral type place. And so I'll never forget, she was telling me that a friend of hers told her that at their home, there was a time when the Jakes lived near White Rock Lake in Dallas. Okay. They had a home. They used to have a home over there. And she told me her friend was part of this group of people that had gone to the house, but I don't know how many sessions they had, but this was a time, as I said earlier, where people kind of saw homosexuality differently, especially in the church. And so they believed that it was an evil spirit and it could be cast out. And so she was telling me that the friend had said that they had had a few sessions at the Jakes' home where they were trying to cast the devil out of these two boys. And I remember, I'll never forget, she said to me, and they said every time they would get to a point where they thought they were going to cast him out, Jakes would leave the room. Why? I don't know. What he was leaving the room for, I don't know. So yeah. Now, let's see, what else do I want to share before I let you guys go on this part 2? Cora, yes. You remember last year when all this stuff was going on with Michelle Loud and the allegation of Cora taking her baby and so on and so forth. Remember, and this did break my heart, but I couldn't say anything because I didn't feel free to tell it. But, so much is about to come out. I think all of us who've known things, there's no point in trying to hold on to this stuff. It is what it is, and people are who they are, for good or for bad. So a lot of people were making fun of Cora, and they were like, what's wrong with Cora? Is she special or something? And that really hurt me, because what people don't know is Cora does have a learning disability. Now, which one it is, I don't know. That part I can't tell you. But how I know this is because my mentor, as I said earlier in part 1, she was very well connected in the community. She was a former educator. There was a woman whose first name starts with a K. So Miss K, who used to drive, and I'm saying this because I want anyone listening to know I can't be sued. She used to drive a blue sports car, okay? She worked in the corporate world at one point before she went out full-time in ministry. She had a car accident that injured her back, and her back was injured for some time. But Mrs. K ran a program at the church. It was hers. Her and her sister ran this program that was for women. And it was kind of sort of like, you could say, if I could put you in mind of something like a finishing type school, but it was a class. It wasn't a school, it was a class. And you would graduate from this class. Now, later, Sarita took that program and turned it into what they later called the debutante program for young girls. But that's not how it originally started. But that lady, Mrs. K, was also on the ground floor of the ministry, very connected to Sarita. And Sarita had commissioned Mrs. K to find a tutor for Cora. So Mrs. K, who my mentor was her advisor as well, called my mentor. And she was saying, we need to get a tutor for Cora. Do you know anybody? Because, like I said, she was a former educator. And she did. She was able to connect them with a tutor for Cora. So now I'm not saying Cora's special needs. I don't know anything about that. But what I will say is that, yes, she has a learning disability. And so very often people are making fun of folks and they don't know what people have going on or things like that. And I feel like that's very cruel and it's unnecessary. I don't feel like any of us who are commenting on these things have to make fun of people and do those things. I don't think we have to take it that far. But you know what? To each his own. I can only run my little ship over here. Now let's do this before we end. When all this stuff comes out over the next days and weeks about Thomas, TD Jakes, which stands for Thomas Dexter. For those who may not know, I don't want to assume everyone knows what that stands for. I want all of you to understand that Sarita was a part of the cover-up. So very often when things come out about these husbands, the wives, the wives get to play innocent. People assume they're innocent. Kind of like the Vanessa Long, Eddie Long situation. People assume they're innocent. The wife kind of skates off and people look at her like, aw, but that's never the case. It's never the case. One of the things I have to say that I respect about Melinda Gates, and I don't know her from Adam or Eve, but when rumors came out that her husband, Bill Gates, the billionaire, had connections to Jeffrey Epstein, what did she do? She immediately divorced him. Not to say that they had the best marriage anyway, because when your husband is going on vacations with his ex-girlfriend, well, we already know what that's about. But she had a line, is my point. She had a line that you can't cross this line. And so what I'm saying that to say, when women like Sarita go along, participate in, when I say participating, I don't mean necessarily the act. I just mean go along with the cover up and pretending that it's not what it is. That's what makes these things go on for years and years and years, because as women, we have power. And when we leave a man, people know something's up. Like everyone knew when Melinda left Bill, that was a direct confirmation that he had ties to Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, she hadn't left him over the girlfriend stuff, vacations with the girlfriend, which I'm sure she had to some degree agreed to. Who knows the state of their marriage? Maybe they were married on paper, but not married, which doesn't make it right. I'm just saying we have now learned what's been going on forever, which is people on one side, you see that they're married, but they have some special arrangements. And some people are down for that stuff and some of us aren't. Okay. But at any rate, what I'm saying is when it all comes out, I don't want anyone to be like, oh, poor Sarita. No, it's not going to be poor Sarita. Sarita, people have gotten information back to Sarita for years about her husband. But there came a time when certain things were getting back to her, and then he took over her email. I mean, listen, Thomas buys Sarita's clothes. He's always bought her clothes. And so you got to understand the kind of state Sarita was in when she met Thomas. I mean, she didn't have anything. I mean, yeah, anyway, I don't want to go there. It's not necessary to go there. But at any rate, my point is she's not innocent. Now, I do think, she was aware of the situation, of the quote unquote slip ups, as they used to call with Mr. R and his wife. But I think there did come a time when, they had conversations, but then there came a time when the deception began to set in. If it's true that Thomas had these high power relationships with other men, sexual relationships, that part she probably didn't know about, because you got to understand that Sarita would be described as a woman who doesn't have the strongest constitution, meaning she has always tended to lean more to easily, being ill. And so I think in all of this, he has tried to protect her from finding out about the high power relationships. But I just will tell you that what you see of these two people's marriages on screen, even when they do the model home series, I think I shared with you guys, my cousin loves those things. And even though I've tried to say to her, girl, it's nothing like that. She won't see, like, she'll be one of those people when all this stuff comes out, she'll be one that's devastated. She really will. So at any rate, so just understand that wives are not innocent. They're not. They know. And if they wouldn't participate, if they would stop participating in the cover up, these things wouldn't be able to go on for years. Now, the person would still be doing what they were doing, but they couldn't do it to the level. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah. But what would she have done if she left him? She didn't have nothing. She had nothing. She came from nothing. She was a coal miner's daughter. When I say she came from nothing, I don't mean she as a person isn't valuable. What I'm saying is She didn't come from prestige or money or anything like that. She was excuse me, guys, she was a poor girl who had come from upside a mountain in West Virginia. And it was because of him that,
hands are tied.
She is and has all that she does. So I don't know. I'm not trying to get into her mind and understand why she stayed, why she was okay with him having these extramarital relationships. I don't know. All I know is I'm not even sure if she would have ever had anything had it not been for him. And so maybe she felt some sort of devotion to him because of that. I don't know. And he did take her 2 sons that she had out of wedlock. Again, not a shaming statement. I'm just saying that because that's the phrase we used to use. And he raised them. Yeah. Now, as I get ready to let you go, I want to say this. Just let's all of us walk careful as this information begins to come out. What do I mean by walk careful? Let's not be hateful and mean.
All right. So, anyway, as you can hear, there was someone that got information that was within the church of T.D. Jakes. And a couple of people that was within the surrounding circles of T.D. Jakes that had information, including the wife, that just never seemed to say anything. And of course, I mean, we all know why the wife doesn't say anything. She wants to stay because of the glitz and the glamour and the money that's still around, the financial stability and things like that. The kids, it's many things that can make it complicated on why you want to stay around or don't want to stay around. But yeah, she was caught between a rock and a hard place. But definitely had she definitely knew about what his relations were. She knew that he was a homosexual. She knew that he was doing different things, and she knew that he was doing things with higher powers. And what the higher powers mean with different people of elites in the behind the scenes. So for that information to be out years before this particular accusation comes out, and not even an actual, let's be clear on something here. This isn't one of those this isn't like the situation with Diddy where there's lawsuits and accusations and sexual assault cases and whatnot. This is just an accusation that the nigga went to a Diddy party. Understand what we're talking about here. All of this is just off the one accusation of him going to a Diddy party. And everyone knowing what a Diddy party is. Isn't that something? The fact that so many people now know and what they identify and correlate the Diddy party to and say, oh, you were at one of those. But now you're shocked that a T.D. Jakes was at a Diddy party? Let me say this to everyone in closing. As you heard, we are going to have many months coming forth where information is going to be let out. The biggest reason why I have not harped on the Diddy situation the past couple of weeks is because I have been seeing and noticing the pattern in things. And this pattern correlates with our next clip. Because the reason why I have not been so harped on the Diddy situation is because I foresee what is coming in the future, and obviously someone else has had the same fruition. Someone else has had the same premonition as I and said, okay, but this particular person happens to be Sloan Bella. And Sloan Bella, as you know, this is not the first time she has had, this isn't the first time that she actually made the right call on Diddy and said, hey, something is going to happen to him very soon. Very, very soon. But she made the premonition from Kim. She basically channeled Kim Porter a year ago, and Kim Porter gave her some insight saying, hey, something's going to happen with Diddy where you're going to start hearing a lot of news about him. A year later, here we are. And recently, Sloan Bella did a live, about a month I want to say ago, where she channeled Kim Porter again. Recently. And Kim had a lot of things to say to her.
Hi everyone, I'm Sloan from SloanBella.com, and I am back with another channeled energy.
I just want to get to the meat and potatoes of things for a second.
She wants her family to know she's okay, and she also wants people to know that this is not done, and that what's going to happen with P. Diddy over the next 4 years, it's a 4-year progression. So we're in almost 2024, so go to 2028 or thereabouts. What's going to happen to him is...
You heard that? Within the next 4 years. So over the next 4 years, we're going to see nothing but information unfolding. Whether that be from Diddy or all the other elites. We're going to see a lot come out over these next 4 years.
His vibration is moving this way and sideways, while the rest of the people are leveling up and to the opposite direction. So what she's showing me is that he will be forgotten about, which seems impossible because he's been all over the news like a crazy person and is very famous and very wealthy. Another thing that I'm being shown is that he doesn't own all his wealth. It's a weird thing to say. He's got allegedly $700 million, if not more. That's just like, I mean, that's going back into the mid-2000s when they guesstimated that. It's not his money I'm being shown. So when they tell you these people have that money, he cannot do what he wants with all that money. That's a trick. It's a trap. It doesn't exist. I'm being told it doesn't exist.
Now, what did you hear there? So all the Forbes billionaires of hip-hop, and they have this money and this net worth and all this, all of that is smoke and mirrors. It's not your actual money, which would make sense. If you are a part of the elites and a part of that circle, I've noticed, as I've asked myself, and of course, I'm pretty sure you have at home have asked yourself, hey, why don't these elites just buy an island and be by themselves? Some of them, you know? Or, an even bigger question, why don't some of these elites take the money and give it away to people? You know, they have billions and billions of dollars. Just give it away and make everyone rich at the same time. If that were the case, you would be able to say these people have control over their money, right? So what Sloan Bella is saying, Kim Porter is saying from the other side, that these people do not have control over their money whatsoever. So the rich and powerful and famous are just rich and famous. They're not powerful at all.
That does not mean he doesn't have 13 homes, a bunch of nice-ass clothes, cars, Lamborghinis, women, tricks, you know, every equipment. He is given those things with part of the money, but he doesn't have control over it all. And they are siphoning it for him right now. I'm seeing it like a milkshake, and there's a straw, and his wealth is being sucked. So by him agreeing to pay Cassie off, the others are coming behind until there's a complete and utter takedown of P. Diddy and his 3 right-hand men. Okay? 3. So there's going to be a takedown that comes in with that. And he's going to try to step away. They're not done. And here's another thing I'm being shown. Okay. I don't know how to word this. This to me reminds me of like a binding spell in voodoo. And I don't know what I'm talking about with that, but his mouth is being sewn up. So when I see his face, the image I get is the mouth is being sewn up. So he is going to be unable to speak for some reason. I can't talk. I cannot speak for myself anymore. This to me sounds like a losing of faculties, a losing of thought, a losing of thinking. I cannot speak, but it's sewed up around his mouth. That's actually how I'm seeing it. They're going to stitch his mouth shut. Why? I ask why. This is how it works for me. So when something hits me, I get impressions, and I just express those impressions. I could be right, I could be wrong, obviously. Nobody's 100% right. It's always worked this way for me. So when I ask him energetically, meaning in my head, however you want to word that, when I ask her why his mouth is being sewn up, it's because of his mentors, and they don't want it coming out over here, even though some of them are outing themselves. These are old guys connected to old time, old style Motown. And she's showing me that he's being shut up from outing them or from speaking about them for some reason. So there's a hierarchy going on here, and there's a total takedown of him. He is being sacrificed.
Now, do you remember when I mentioned before in the Migos documentary about Motown and the old heads of Motown? Remember when I talked about the old heads of Motown and them having something to do with, I don't know, the insurance claim behind Takeoff? Yeah. In other words, Diddy is being silenced because there are other things that can come out and leak out of the pipes that he is connected to, that the elites do not want to leak out.
So he may think he gets away with stuff. He may think it's cool he does what he does, but now he's the sacrificial lamb. And I do mean that. There's something that comes up with him in March, speaking of the lamb, during the Easter time frame, March, April, right in that time frame. That's why I said lamb.
And that right there is why I have not been talking about the Diddy situation, because if that is the case, and if the universe has it, and the universe wants it to happen, you heard it here first. Or should I say, you heard it here exclusively. The prediction and time frame that we are all looking for something to happen to Diddy will be in March.
Something else that's going to come up with him. We are not done. It is a complete takedown, and then you will see this man's energy. So his three close right-hand people, and I have no idea who they are. I don't know who he considers close. There might be people he's seen with in public, and they might not actually be his three right-hand men. His responsibility goes long and far, but on a frequency level, astral level, which means when the physical body stops breathing, we step out into the realm around us. So it's like stepping into the air, into the ethers, except there's a doorway into another energy frequency. That's all it is a frequency, like a radio station, okay? So when we're talking about it, he steps into a different frequency and they are blocking him. So you're not going to be able to connect with his energy as you evolve. I mean, you the people, we the people, all of us are not going to understand like where his power's gone, because it's going to be so obvious that we don't focus on him. And as a result of that, he cannot continue to do what he does. That is the balancing of karma. It's balance. Karma is not vindictive, it's balance. So when somebody is not responsible for their repercussions on earth and think they can just shove it under the counter, there is a strong female connected to Kim who's going to come out with more information, and it involves her family members and him, okay? Strong thing. A lot of people knew what this man did. That was confusing to me because I understand money and power. And I understand, as is the case with Harvey Weinstein, a lot of people knew what was going on and nobody said anything until everybody said everything. We're seeing the same takedown. The time frame that we're in, Earth or this planet, is evolving, and it is a spiritual war. So if you are harming the essence and frequency of another person and you continue to do it right now, your repercussions are to be removed from that frequency. Now, what does P. Diddy need most? He needs our attention, our admiration. He needs us to pay attention to him. He needs us on a frequency level. So this is what's happening to him. People are not going to respond. Like, he can walk down the street and people will not notice him. I mean, they might, but it's not going to be the same where people are like, oh my God. And there are younger musicians that are going to come out against him and talk about what he did. The bodies that are buried, okay? So the bodies that are buried, they're going to talk about it. talk about it. There are men in other countries who are going to speak about it. There is political connections to him in other countries and this country. They're going to speak about it. He will not be able to spend his money. That huge amount of wealth. I mean, what are you going to spend that on? But do you ever wonder why these people only donate to specific organizations in a specific way, as opposed to, for example, leaving 600 million of the 700 million to help the homeless in LA or help people in the Ukraine or whatever it is? Yeah, no, not going to happen. Not going to happen because he doesn't have control of that money. I'm literally being shown that. He has a lot of that money, but not all of it. So there is some sort of bait and switch that they have done to us when we look at somebody and admire them in order to keep our energy attached to his energy and attached to the idea that that's the way to live. That's not the way to live because he's basically void inside. Okay, so there's a voidness. Kim Porter stands up so strong. Okay. She stands up so strong. I am being represented and they will find out what he did.
And we are seeing just all of that come to fruition. Of course, if you'd like to watch the entire Sloan Bella Live, you can. It's Kim Porter Part 3, where she channels her. It's on Sloan Bella's channel. But, a lot of meaty information there. A lot to digest, if you will. So there are 3 accomplices of Diddy. Now, I can only think of 2 that have been accused, which would be Khaled and Ross. As you saw, we on the podcast. I'm not too sure if we went over that or not. I can't remember. I believe we did. Of the Trump shooter that went viral not too long ago about him saying that Ross and Khaled, they're gay with Diddy. You remember that coming out recently? Or people finding that or digging that video up again, and the guy was saying that the Ross and Khaled, they're gay, right? You know they're gay with Diddy, Sean Combs. You remember that? I wonder if that's one of the 3-headed dragons that she's talking about. I wonder if Hove. I wonder if Jay-Z is one of those 3-headed dragons that he's talking. I wonder if Pierre is one of those people that she's talking about. I wonder. Because it could be any name. When she mentioned the political aspects of things, I can think about with that same gentleman that was at the table saying that Putin has connections with Diddy and things like that. I remember him saying that specifically. She's saying that younger artists are going to come out. We've already gotten word that Usher is going to be saying something. We've gotten word that, of course, Bieber can't say anything, but who's to say his representation cannot? And has evidence of what happened back in the day. Who's to say that? Because it's kind of ironic that Bieber lost his voice and can't speak from half of his fucking face a year or 2 before this happens. Huh? I'm just saying. I silence one, I give the other something. So he doesn't say anything. A la a Super Bowl performance in a Vegas residency. One can only wonder. But what is not to wonder is that something is going to happen with Diddy in these coming months. And one person in particular seemed to have made a very, very, very good premonition.
Hey Reggie, I was curious.
Reggie Wright.
In Suge's podcast episodes and just in general, he seems to have like a pretty big disdain for Russell Simmons. Do you know the history as to why he dislikes him so much and why he always speaks on him?
Well, it goes through a lot, and mainly with Def Jam. I remember one time Russell Simmons shook some roses. I ain't never seen a person get so pissed off by someone sending some roses. And he said, man, you know that faggot motherfucker just sent me some goddamn roses, Reggie? I guess it's pretty much like the story when 50 Cent when he was so mad at Puffy when he said, that motherfucker offered to take me shopping. You know, that's shit we do for bitches, right?
This is Reggie Wright. If you don't remember who Reggie Wright is, when we spoke about the Tupac and Biggie documentary, Reggie Wright's name came up quite a few times. That is because Reggie Wright was actually working with law enforcement. Or should I say he was former law enforcement. Back in the day. Back in the days of Death Row and Bad Boy. So Reggie Wright has a lot, and I mean a lot, of insight on what is going on today. Because he lived it back then.
And so, that ain't why he's mad. That ain't why I understand him to be mad. He's mainly mad and has that disdain for Russell. Number one, I think because he liked his women, his wife at the time, Kimora, and you see how he always shouting her out, even though she was cool with Misa, and that's who Suge really was messing with. And I'll tell you a story about that. I remember the last time I saw Kimora and Misa, we were in New York at a strip club in New York, and actually we're not Harlem, the one where it might have been Harlem. It's the one where where Fat Joe and them from, because we was at a strip club out there, and Irv Gotti popped up there, and Kimora and Misa was in the club. They was at the strip club, and Suge was about to pull Misa or Kimora, which one? He was about to pull one of them that night, because I think Misa was married at the time, so it wasn't Misa. He was gonna pull Kimora, and she kept telling him, no, stop, get away. Irv Gotti got a big mouth. He tells everything. And but I tell that story because Suge's dislike for Russell always just behind Warren G. You know, Leor and all of them would try to put out that that Suge wanted to sign Warren G. If Suge wanted to sign Warren G, he would have made it happen. He had every opportunity in the world. I have always heard it was Dr. Dre that didn't want to sign Warren G. He was the one that was hating on Warren, not Suge. But the main reason was because Suge really felt that he was owed a lot of money from publishing, music publishing, because Snoop and Corrupt and all of those dudes, RBX probably, all of them are the ones that wrote most of the stuff, the lyrics on Warren's album. That you know, it was doing pretty well. And Nate Dogg and all of them, man. Because Warren is mainly a beat maker. Just like with Daz. Corrupt wrote most of Daz's lyrics. But Daz,
now, listen
the
to
producer,
what he says
the beat
here
maker.
next.
It's very few people that's like DJ Quick that can write their own music and
After a certain
produce and
question
do
is
their,
asked,
or
of course.
Kanye West. You know, even Dre. Dre don't write. D.O.C. wrote most of Dre lyrics, but they do their thing as far as producing. So you have that issue. There's very few guys, what I'm trying to say, like the Wyclifs or Kanye's or Quick, that can produce and write their own lyrics. And so Suge really felt that he lost a lot of money, and Russell Simmons and them helped him get cheated out of a lot of money because of, or they should have cut a check to him because he knew that those were his guys that wrote most of the album for Warren G, which we all know saved Def Jam. Him, and then later on following up by Montel Jordan, because Def Jam was done, over with, gone. We wouldn't have had no Method Man, Red Man, Jay-Z, Because, you know, Jay-Z was out on priority, but it didn't do shit. I know all of y'all be like, oh, Jay-Z was, man, they didn't have nobody to put them out. Irv got in there, and more importantly, shit, Rough Riders, DMX. If it wasn't for Def Jam keeping no doors open. And so that's the disdain. That's what I know, the truth. But I know all of you people that done heard interviews on the internet and interviews going to say something different. But hopefully they may run back and tell this story. And we'll get the true story from Mr. Knight himself to why he really hates him or have a dislike for Russell. But the things I laid out is what has always been expressed to me by Mr. Knight, and that I know was always an issue. But Russell was always a cool, gentle dude like he is. And I saw he got a spot that he's calling a spot for Snoop Dogg. I don't think Snoop needs that spot yet. But he needs to build a spot over there in b.l.a.c for his boy Puffy. Because Puffy I warned Keefy D to take his ass over there. There's no extradition laws over there. So I'm warning you now, Puffy. Take your ass over there. Reggie prediction. I know Puffy is smart enough, and he probably done already cleaned his houses. But sexual predators, what do they do? And we'd be like, damn, why? They treat their sex tapes like, y'all remember that song, Me and My Girlfriend, that Pac did? What he was talking about? What was Pac talking about, y'all? And that. Do y'all really know what he was talking about? For those of y'all know what he's talking about, he's talking about a gun, but sexual predators is what hold on to their tapes. And cops know that. So I wouldn't be surprised if some storages or some of Puffy properties be getting raided real soon. Because they need to get to those tapes. They get one of those tapes with him with those little people that's been making the accusations. Woo, man. Done. But Puffy the type, he'll blow his brains out. Guarantee y'all. Or do like he did on that corkscrew lie. How he did. We know what you did, Puff. Misa told us. Nigga, you slit your wrist. He gonna do something stupid like that. Yep.
You heard it here first. So not only are we going to have something happen in March, possibly, we are definitely going to get a raid soon. You heard it here first. But, as I say before, I don't say anyone has done anything here on the show. All we do is share the information and let you know it. As they say, the truth shall come to the light. There's been a lot of things in darkness. Darkness.
Yeah.
But that is all we have here, ladies and gentlemen. I see y'all for late night chill. A couple goes to bad boy.
My type of women like to cuddle, but don't sleep on the money. My type of women like to talk, but don't talk to no dummy. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. The type of dudes don't be calling trying to blow up a phone. The type of dudes getting money but don't leave her alone. She just need food, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. She just need food, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. Don't be mad at it, That's just what we prefer. I need a woman that can cook and clean. She need a good man that fucking mean. I kick it paying all bills, yeah, I foot the fee. Yeah, I know she bad and bougie, but she good to me. We talking king shit, I love to show her royalty. I need a queen, quick to always show her loyalty. And when even a nigga off, she be on with me. She DEF the fuck boy, she supported G. That's how it always be. Yeah, it's a baddie, it's a baddie. Make it clap, petty cake with that fatty. Yeah, she love it. Making money. Keep it coming. Hate when complaining, haters do nothing. My type of women like to cuddle, but don't sleep on the money. My type of women like to talk, but don't talk to no dummy. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. A type of dudes don't be calling, trying to blow up a phone. A type of dudes getting money, but don't leave her alone. She just need food, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. She just need food, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. She said, don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer.